Hi, I'm Carla Hinton. I'm here reporting for the Oklahoman and NewsOK.com. I'm here with Tim Knopp. He is the director of the Timothy Institute of Evangelism that's based here in Oklahoma City. But let me tell you, Tim gets around. He's been all over the place because you are an event evangelist. Now, what is an event evangelist?
Well, event evangelism is actually where you use events, either the community events or you actually create events using the church as part of the catalyst and just open up opportunities to share your faith in major events.
Okay. Well, I asked Mr. Knopp to come in today to talk about the Super Bowl watch parties that churches all over the nation have. They'll be having these parties on Sunday, and there's been a bit of a, I wouldn't call it controversy, but there's been a bit of an issue with the NFL and these particular watch parties. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Well, one thing is churches and, of course, other businesses and organizations and just families have been holding the watch parties, just watching the game, having a good time, and just using it as a way of getting the community together. Over the last years, though, they become more popular and a little more aggressive, if you will.
Right.
And then last year, we actually had a situation where a large church actually was planning a humongous block party,
right.
And people started looking into the laws and regulations, and the NFL came in and said, we need to make some changes.
Okay. Now, one thing that's interesting about you is that your institute put together on the internet what's called a watch party playbook, where churches can go online and find out how to have these outreach events. So you started getting a lot of calls last year when this controversy, for lack of a better term, arose.
Absolutely. We have a little manual that we have put out for a number of years now of actually how to hold a party in such a way that you can get your community together. Okay. It can be a large party or a small party. And the thing is because of that, I have a lot of contacts around the country. And when the controversy started, I started getting all kinds of phone calls. My cell phone bill was phenomenal last year.
Okay.
And people were just calling a little clarification. So I talked to some people at the NFL and with the Super Bowl host committee because almost without exception, pastors are saying we want to do the right thing.
Okay. Now, you know, and I know you know this, so if you can just give the basic rules for Super Bowl watch parties for churches, what would keep them out of trouble?
First thing is go in and have a good time and think of everybody's behalf.
Okay.
You know, I mean, the party should be a good party. When you format your party, just ask yourself, does this take away from the NFL or from the Super Bowl, either through its Nelson's ratings or through its sponsorships? How would we do this at home?
Okay.
So if you're doing an in-home block party,
right.
Watch party, basically you've got pretty free reign because it is your home. It's not a public event. It's a private event.
Okay.
In that case, if you want to have the jumbo TV in your home, if you want to do the projector in your home, you're pretty safe in those regards. Don't charge admission to your home because it's a private event. Provide the food, have them bring the food and the like there.
Right.
If you're going to be in a church or in a situation like that, again, be careful of the guidelines. Now, the guidelines don't originate from the NFL. They're actually copyright laws that is actually passed by our Congress.
Okay.
And the NFL is just saying, let's just be aware of those. And they want to treat everybody equally and fairly.
Right.
And that includes our churches as well.
Right. Now let's talk just for a minute specifically about those particular rules. One is that you can't have a watch party at a church if the screen is going to be 55 inches or above, right?
Actually, that's right. The copyright law that was changed in 1998 said that in an establishment, you can have up to like 4 TVs,
okay.
But none of them could be over 55 inches. Now, that was in 1998 when the biggest TV commonly used was 55 inches.
Right.
I think if the law was written today, it'd probably be modified, but that's the law as it stands right now.
Okay.
So you can only have 4 TVs, and they have to be in different rooms. So those are kind of the laws and regulations as the copyright laws. And again, public and private events come under different guidelines in those regards. But the church just needs to be sensitive to look at those copyright laws. Don't charge for admission,
right? Okay.
And that's addressed as well.
Okay.
And the NFL is right in saying that we're providing this on the airways for free,
right?
So therefore, keep it free,
okay.
And don't be charging for it.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you, Mr. Knopp, for coming in today. This is Carla Hinton reporting for the Oklahoman and NewsOK.com.